Hello Toonami! Hope you're all doing well. Today we've got some major news coming out of Newcastle United, and unfortunately, it's not the kind of news we like to hear. Our star striker, Alexander Isak, has been caught up in a serious situation after his home was targeted in a high-profile burglary. Let's break it all down. So, according to reports from Newcastle Crown Court, Isak was one of the victims of a gang of burglars who carried out a series of high-value break-ins. And we're not talking about some small-time criminals here. This gang managed to steal over $1 million worth of valuables from different properties before they set their sights on Isak's home. It's a shocking situation, and to think that one of our own players had to go through this is deeply concerning. The court heard that 3 members of the same family who were living in Italy have already admitted to conspiracy to commit burglary. But there's still one suspect, a 32-year-old named Valentino Nikolov, who is denying the charge. Prosecutors have laid out how this gang operated, and it's like something straight out of a crime thriller. They entered the UK via ferry from Calais to Dover, driving in a Citroën C3 and a Ford motorhome. The plan was simple. Use the smaller car to commit the burglaries and keep the motorhome as a base to sleep in. The first target was a businesswoman in Newcastle, Helen McArdle, who lost over $1 million in jewellery, clothes, handbags, and even a prestigious CBE medal. Then, just 2 days later, they struck again, hitting another property in Sunderland, stealing another $100,000 worth of luxury items. And then, their next target, none other than Alexander Isak, the Swedish international, who has been a key figure for Newcastle this season, had his home in Darras Hall broken into last April. While the full details of what was stolen haven't been disclosed yet, the very fact that Isak was a target is worrying. It raises serious questions about player safety and whether clubs need to do more to protect their stars from these kinds of criminal activities. What makes this even more concerning is that this isn't the first time footballers have been targeted in similar crimes. Across the Premier League, we've seen multiple cases where burglars go after players' homes, knowing they have expensive belongings. It's a harsh reality, but when you're a top athlete, you become a potential target. As for Isak, we can only hope that he and his family weren't harmed during the break-in, and that he's receiving all the support he needs. Football is already a mentally and physically demanding profession, and dealing with something like this, on top of it, must be incredibly stressful. We'll be keeping a close eye on this case, as more details come out in court over the next few days. Newcastle United will no doubt be taking this seriously, and we hope security measures are in place to ensure that our players feel safe, both on and off the pitch. Because at the end of the day, this is about more than just football. It's about protecting the people who give everything for our club. Alright, that's the first big story covered. Now let me know if you're ready for the second part, where we'll talk about Bruno Guimarães and how he's been silencing his critics with some unbelievable performances this season. Alright Toonami, let's switch gears and talk about something much more positive. Bruno Guimarães. This man has been absolutely sensational for Newcastle United, and if anyone ever doubted his quality, they've just been silenced. Bruno has been proving, week in and week out, why he's not just one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, but one of the best in Europe. And if you need proof, just take a look at the stats. Since joining Newcastle in 2022, Bruno has completely transformed the team. He brings energy, creativity, and leadership, qualities that have been vital for the way we play under Eddie Howe. And this season, he's taken it to another level. In fact, he's been so good that Howe has even given him the captain's armband when Kieran Trippier isn't on the pitch. That just goes to show the kind of influence he has. Not just in terms of his performances, but also in how he lifts the team. Now let's talk numbers, because sometimes you don't realize just how dominant a player is until you see the stats. A recent post from Squawka revealed that Bruno Guimarães currently leads all of Europe's top 5 leagues in ground duels, 120, fouls 89, and through balls completed, 11. That's right, he's not just competing with the best midfielders in England, he's outshining everyone across the continent. This just goes to show what a complete midfielder he is. He's got the defensive work rate to win battles in midfield. He's got the technical ability to make things happen. And he's got the vision to split defenses open. Whether it's pressing high, winning crucial tackles, or threading passes through the tightest of gaps, Bruno is doing it all. And yet, despite all of this, there have been some critics who questioned his form after a couple of tough games. Some even suggested he should have been rested during our Carabao Cup match against Brighton. But Bruno, he let his football do the talking. In response to all the noise, he posted a simple Instagram story with a zipped mouth and prayer hands emoji. No words needed, just cold hard facts. That's the mentality of a top player. He's not here for drama or debates. He's here to win football matches and push Newcastle United to greater heights. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Bruno has shown his class, both on and off the pitch. He's the first to take responsibility when things don't go our way, the first to thank the fans after a win, and always quick to praise his teammates. When Lewis Miley scored against Bromley in the FA Cup, it was Bruno leading the celebrations. When Newcastle knocked Arsenal out of the Carabao Cup, he dedicated the win to Rob Lee, who couldn't be at St James Park after undergoing surgery. That kind of leadership is priceless. That's why Bruno isn't just a key player. He's the heartbeat of this team. When you look at the best Newcastle players of the modern era, you think of Shearer, you think of Rob Lee, you think of Trippier, and now you have to add Bruno Guimarães to that list. His performances have been so good that even Newcastle legends are taking notice. Alan Shearer himself called Bruno brilliant after that Arsenal win, and when Shearer speaks, you listen. He knows what it takes to be a great at this club, and if he's giving Bruno that kind of praise, you know the Brazilian is doing something special. So to those who ever doubted Bruno Guimarães, let this be a reminder. He's not just good, he's elite, and he's doing it in the black and white of Newcastle United, the greatest club in the world. That's all for today, Toon Army. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, let's keep backing the lads. Away the Toon!